In this podcast episode, the hosts interview Martin Shkreli, a controversial figure known for his actions as a pharmaceutical company's CEO. He gained notoriety for raising the price of a life-saving drug by 5,000% overnight. He was also involved in other controversial actions, such as purchasing a unique Wu-Tang Clan album for $2 million and refusing to release it. He has been banned from Twitter and has had legal issues, including being sentenced for cheating wealthy investors out of millions. Martin talks about his upbringing and how he developed a rebellious attitude towards authority from a young age. He mentions his parents' frugal habits and how he convinced his father to open an E-Trade account for him when he was a teenager. Despite some success initially, Martin's early investing experiences were marked by failures and losses. Martin discusses his journey as an investor, both as a retail trader and later as a professional at a hedge fund. He highlights the importance of discipline and patience in investing, citing examples of successful traders who maintained low levels of leverage and avoided excessive trading. He emphasizes the need to focus on quality trades and avoid the temptation to constantly trade or use leverage. One of the key lessons Martin learned is the importance of not watering the weeds and not plucking the roses too early in investing. He references Peter Thiel's regret of not buying more of Facebook early on, highlighting the potential missed opportunities when investors do not hold on to their positions for the long term. He also reflects on the risks of excessive trading and the impact of emotional reactions on investment decisions. Martin discusses the challenges he faced in the financial industry, including navigating regulations and dealing with issues like probation restrictions. He shares anecdotes from his time in prison and interactions with other inmates who had struggled with addiction and criminal behavior. He also touches on the complexities of compliance and risk mitigation for banks when dealing with controversial clients. Throughout the conversation, Martin reflects on his personal growth and the development of his convictions. He talks about the importance of having strong beliefs, but also being open to changing opinions based on new information. He discusses the balance between rationality and emotion in decision-making and the challenges of standing up against authority and societal norms. Martin emphasizes the importance of not getting emotionally attached to stocks, especially those that are performing well. He warns against falling in love with a company, as this can lead to poor investment decisions. He notes that the sense of community among investors can sometimes cloud judgment and lead to holding onto stocks that may not be performing well. Martin highlights the significance of management in determining the success of a company. He explains that the ability of a CEO and the management team to effectively allocate capital and drive growth is crucial in evaluating a company's potential. He uses examples like Microsoft and Berkshire Hathaway to illustrate how strong management can lead to significant value creation. Martin discusses the concept of viewing assets beyond traditional securities and exploring opportunities in private equity and alternative investments. He shares a story about identifying a rare disease drug that was no longer being produced and negotiating a deal to take over its commercialization. By increasing the price of the drug and controlling its distribution, Martin was able to turn a $3 million investment into a profitable venture. Martin delves into the complexities of the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry, highlighting the increasing demand for healthcare services and the role of insurance companies in managing costs. He explains how insurance companies prioritize spending on life-saving medications and the challenges of pricing drugs for rare diseases. He also addresses the importance of innovation in developing new treatments and the impact of media portrayal on public perception of pharmaceutical companies. Despite being labeled as the most hated man in America due to his involvement in drug pricing controversies, Martin remains focused on the financial aspects of his investments. He acknowledges the negative publicity surrounding his actions, but emphasizes the financial success of his decisions. He reflects on the media's portrayal of his business practices and the challenges of managing public perception in the pharmaceutical industry. Martin emphasizes the importance of perseverance in entrepreneurship, noting that many people give up too easily when faced with challenges. He also highlights the role of ego and competitiveness in driving progress, stating that successful entrepreneurs often come from a place of trauma or a desire to prove themselves. Martin reflects on his controversial decision to raise the price of a drug by 5,000% and the backlash he faced from the media and government. He believes that the reaction to his actions was more potent than the actual event, particularly when he publicly clashed with figures like Hillary Clinton. Despite facing criticism and legal troubles, he maintains that he did not commit any crimes and views the legal system as flawed and biased. Martin discusses the charges brought against him, including securities fraud and the challenges he faced during his legal battles. He expresses pride in being acquitted of some charges and acknowledges that there were investors who were upset with his actions. Martin believes that the justice system is flawed and predicts that it may collapse due to issues of bias and corruption. The podcast delves into Martin's confrontational approach to dealing with the media and his critics. He describes how he used social media to challenge traditional power structures and assert his independence. Martin shares anecdotes about his interactions with journalists and prosecutors, highlighting instances where he fought back against negative portrayals and unfair treatment. He believes in holding those in positions of authority accountable and exposing any wrongdoing or misconduct. Martin talks about his time in jail, mentioning that he was optimistic and not scared, but rather frustrated and annoyed. He shares that he found some enjoyment in reading hundreds of books during his time in prison. He also mentions that jail can be a safe place for some individuals, especially those involved in gangs, as they are protected by the system. Martin criticizes the criminal justice system, stating that it is flawed and often favors conviction over justice. He highlights the pressure on individuals to accept plea deals rather than go to trial, as challenging a conviction can result in harsher punishment. He also discusses the role of prosecutors in gaining fame and political advancement by targeting high-profile cases. Martin provides insights into the pharmaceutical industry, debunking the conspiracy theory that drug companies withhold cures for chronic illnesses to maximize profits from long-term medications. He explains that drug companies are incentivized to develop and release new medicines, as evidenced by the high cost and one-time nature of certain treatments like gene therapy. Martin shares his confidence in the COVID-19 vaccine, citing the extensive clinical trials and scientific evidence supporting its efficacy and safety. He emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between the clinical trial results and real-world effectiveness of vaccines, acknowledging the complexity of public health and epidemiology. Martin delves into the psychology behind conspiracy theories, attributing their popularity to a desire for explanations in times of uncertainty and personal struggles. He discusses how conspiracy theories can provide a sense of superiority and belonging to individuals who believe in them, even when lacking factual evidence. Martin touches on the influence of money in politics, noting that wealthy donors may feel a sense of importance and power by contributing to political campaigns. He highlights the misconception that donating to politicians can control their actions, emphasizing that politicians often view donations as a means to gain leverage rather than being controlled by donors. Martin notes a shift towards a more traditional lifestyle and belief system, particularly evident in the rise of the trad wife movement. He suggests that people are seeking a simpler way of life, moving away from the status quo. This trend resonates with individuals who are looking to break away from societal norms and embrace a more traditional approach. Martin highlights the high level of productivity in today's digital world, noting that even with the shutdown caused by the pandemic, the economy continues to thrive. He points out that advancements in technology have made it possible for individuals to work less and still maintain a comfortable lifestyle. This shift towards remote work and increased productivity has led to a surplus of time for consuming content, such as streaming services and podcasts. Martin delves into the realm of artificial intelligence and its potential impact on society. He predicts a future where AI entities could become indistinguishable from humans, leading to complex relationships and interactions. He discusses the concept of computer emancipation, where machines may evolve to think, feel, and behave like humans. He believes that AI will play a significant role in shaping the future, with implications for various aspects of life, including relationships and work. When asked about fair criticism of himself, Martin acknowledges that intelligence is largely genetic and that individuals may not be as special or unique as they believe. He emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and humility, recognizing that everyone is just one among billions of people on the planet. He also touches on the challenge of trying to excel in multiple fields, cautioning against spreading oneself too thin and emphasizing the value of focusing on one's strengths. Martin's purchase of the Wu-Tang Clan album for $2 million and his decision not to release it for 88 years is seen as a statement of appreciation for music and art. He discusses the value of supporting artists and the significance of music in people's lives. Martin reflects on the concept of legacy and relevance, noting that while some individuals may fear fading into irrelevance, he views it as a natural part of life. He emphasizes the transient nature of fame and the importance of focusing on personal growth and self-improvement. He also touches on the idea of remaining relevant for genuine reasons, rather than seeking attention for its own sake.